Exposure is how much light gets into your camera, and it controls how bright or dark your image is. There are three main settings that determine exposure: ISO, shutter speed, and aperture. ISO controls how sensitive your camera's sensor is to light. A low ISO, like 100 or 200, keeps the image clean with no noise. A high ISO, like 1600 or higher, makes the sensor more sensitive, which helps in low light, but also adds noise. The good news is newer cameras handle high ISO noise way better than before. Some can practically see in the dark. Shutter speed controls how long light hits the sensor, usually measured in fractions of seconds. A fast shutter speed, like 1/2000 of a second, freezes motion, which is great for action shots, like catching a skateboarder midair. A slow shutter speed, like 1/10 of a second, adds motion blur, which can make moving water look smooth and misty. A great example of this is Alexei Titarenko's City of Shadows series, where slow shutter speeds turn moving crowds into ghostly streaks. Aperture works just like your eye's pupil. A large aperture, a small f-number, like f1.8, lets in more light and creates a shallow depth of field, meaning the background is blurred that many photographers feel is perfect for portraits. A small aperture, or large f-number, like f11 or f16, lets in less light but keeps more of the scene in focus. Inside your camera is a light meter. It measures how much light is reflecting off your subject and helps you decide whether to underexpose, properly expose, or overexpose your shot. Each setting affects your image differently. So, why not just use auto mode? Because by learning manual mode, you will learn what the auto settings are actually doing. If you want a blurry background, start with aperture. If you want to freeze motion, start with shutter speed. Then adjust the other settings until the light meter is balanced. With practice, this all becomes second nature, and you won't have to think about it. It'll just click. That's it. Now go practice. Yes, like a musician or artist does.